Hi, everybody. If you're considering a quick getaway or an add on to your main cruise out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, you might be interested in Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, which sails out of Port of Palm Beach. This cruise line has had its share of mixed reviews in the past, but a lot has changed recently. They're now under new ownership, same company that owns the luxury cruise line, Azamara. So, is Margaritaville at Sea Paradise worth it? We'll answer that question, plus share some tips, info, and the secret spots on the ship from our late December 2024 cruise. First, let's talk pricing. If you can snag their $49 or $99 per person rates for 2 or 3 nights, it's a great deal for a short cruise, perfect for filling in that gap before or after your main cruise. Our voyage was during the holiday season, so the prices were much higher. A total of over $1,100, including taxes and fees, for a 3 night cruise for the three of us. In addition, there was no onboard credit included, and even worse, we noticed a $15 fuel supplement fee per person per day that was tacked onto our final bill. No other cruise line does this right now as fuel prices are relatively low, so we were not happy to see this surprise $135 charge at the end of the cruise. Gratuities per person per day was $18, which is in line with other cruise lines, though there is only once daily room cleaning. So overall, it came out to be more expensive per day compared to many of the recent cruises we have taken, including the Holland America one we took right after this. Also, if you're considering Margaritaville Paradise as a filler for a few days, before or after your main cruise, do consider that ride shares like Uber or Lyft to the Port of Palm Beach from Fort Lauderdale or Miami can set you back $90 or more each way. So factor that into your budget. By the way, during booking, which for now can only be done directly at Margarita at Sea's website, we didn't see a way to book a cabin at a specific location. The room is just assigned to you, so it's similar to a guaranteed stay room from other cruise ships. We were able to select from interior, ocean view, or suites, though the latter was sold out. So we went for the ocean view, which was the same price as an inside cabin. Our room was pretty spacious, nice and clean, with a very clear porthole window, but noise isolation wasn't great. So light sleepers, bring those earplugs. You can watch our cabin tour video for a lot more specifics. See the link in the description. Embarkation was pretty smooth and easy at the Port of Palm Beach. Disembarkation, however, was one of the worst we've experienced. More about that towards the end of the video. Now let's go over what food you can expect on board their Paradise. Now we do have detailed coverage of the buffet and main dining room food plus menus in separate videos for those of you who might want a closer look. But first, let's go over the things it does not have versus most mainstream cruise lines. There is no complimentary main dining room sit-down breakfast or lunch. Most cruise lines include breakfast at the main dining room daily, and on sea days, there is lunch there as well, but not so for Margaritaville at Sea. This cruise line does offer brunch, but it is $25 per person, which includes drinks such as mimosa and Bloody Mary. Also, at the buffet, there's no milk for your coffee for lunch and dinner. And if you're a tea drinker, note that there's only black tea available, no chamomile or green tea. There's also no free pizza for now. Craving a slice, you'll have to pay for it at Frank and Lola's. But the good news is that Margaritaville is planning to add free pizza at the buffet later this year. As for the food quality and selection at the buffet, it is underwhelming. For instance, their guacamole is mostly onion and has virtually no avocado. And at their late night buffet, guests literally had to go and ask crew members where the food was, as the poultry selection quickly ran out. It's not all bad though at the buffet. The custom pasta station and the panini sandwich areas were pretty decent. The daily soups had good flavor, plus some of the Indian food and desserts were pretty good. Here are a few of the highlights from the buffet breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you're hungry between meals, there's Cheeseburger in Paradise at the back of the ship that's open for lunch and runs until 6 p.m. The burgers and fries were pretty good. though sometimes there could be a long line. Each burger isn't very large, so we do recommend that you go ahead and ask for 2 burgers. That way you don't have to go back in line again if you're still hungry after eating one. Main dining dinner is held at the Finn's restaurant, and this is where you'll find the best complimentary food on the ship. There are no assigned seats and no reservation is needed. You just show up and be led to an open table. Now, even though they say dinner doesn't start until 5:45 p.m., it actually opens earlier than that. So we recommend that you start waiting in line at 5:20 p.m. if you want to make the first wave of orders. This is because service is not the fastest, as there doesn't seem to be enough staff here. Air conditioning is also pretty spotty, but at least there isn't much of a dress code, so you can wear shorts if you like. The food here, however, was pretty good overall. Take a look at some of the appetizers, main entrees, and desserts we ordered. Be aware that they do charge $7 for each main entree beyond the first one, though you can order multiple appetizers and desserts for free. Now let's go over some of the pay food options. There's the JWB Prime Steakhouse, which is pretty much a section within the Finn's dining room. It's $55 per person for dinner, while brunch is $25 per person. There's also a coffee shop that offers extra cost baked goods and gelato. Dinner at their pizza place, called Frank and Lola's, costs $20 for a 3-course meal, or as low as $9 for a 14-inch cheese or pepperoni pizza. Now let's go over the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise ship itself, plus what you can expect for entertainment and activities. The Paradise was built in 1991, known back then as the Costa Classica, so the ship is pretty dated, but was refurbished in 2022, so it doesn't look very rundown, and does have some charm. There are 2 pools outside, a small adults only one in the back, and the main pool in the middle of the ship on deck 10. If you're looking for any water activities like slides or a little water park, the Paradise does not have it. There are lots of seating here around the main pool, including some colorful chairs and daybeds. There's also one ping pong table and a cornhole board on the pool deck on either side of the buffet. They were always very busy though. Deck 10 is where the Port of Indecision buffet is located, and you can get there from the pool deck down these stairs, which is pretty unique. And right behind the buffet is the aforementioned Cheeseburgers in Paradise. On the deck above the pool, there is artificial turf where you can walk around and can be sort of a mini jogging track. Plenty of lounge chairs here as well. They even have a pickleball court at the front here. But if you're serious about playing, you might want to consider bringing your own paddles and balls because they weren't always available, at least the several times we passed by. In the back, there are 2 small hot tubs, plus really great views of the back of the ship. So not exactly that many activities available out here. There was a festive sail away party, plus a few fetch games on the pool deck. Though overall, it was surprisingly quiet during the evening out here with no other pool deck parties or themed events. It's actually quieter than Holland America and Princess Cruises, which at least have movies playing by the pool. Speaking of things to do, coming up are sample Margaritaville at Sea Paradise schedules of activities. First for a sea day, then for the port day. Let's head on inside and check out some of the highlights. On deck 5, where you embark the ship, there's this unique giant slipper with flying parrots above. This is also where the customer service is located. Around the corner, there's even a little chapel as well. Live music happens at the Euphoria Lounge on deck 8. During afternoons, you'll find activities such as trivia here. There's even a library nearby, plus an adjacent room for board games and Jenga. There's also an arcade that's open 24/7. And of course, the main dining room Fins is located in the back here. There were several lounges on the ship. Heading up to deck 9, one of the best which to relax at is Keys on the Water, which have plenty of seating and excellent views. At deck 9 midship, there are the shops, coffee place, and pizzeria, with plenty of seating around here. The casino is also located on deck 9, and we thought it was great that no smoking was allowed. The theater is very retro with Italian murals. If you sit at the floor level seats right by the stage, you're in for an intimate experience. Here are some highlights of shows put on by the energetic production cast. They had the newlywed marriage audience participation show one afternoon.
How was your first kiss? Now,
On deck 11 inside, you'll find the salon, spa, and fitness center. Here's a secret tip. In the spa area, you can help yourselves to these comfortable chairs with great views. Now, the gym is not the best equipped, but it was pretty good for a small ship. Deck 14 is the highest deck, accessible via midship, and is home to the adults only Hemisphere nightclub. So if you're missing out on the outdoor pool parties at night, this is where you go, though it doesn't open until 11 p.m. Here's another secret. During the day, the nightclub is mostly empty, so feel free to enjoy the air hockey and billiards table, plus the 360-degree views outside the glass windows. If there's a sporting event going on, and since the stateroom doesn't have ESPN, this, along with some of the bars, will be the places you can watch the games. The port we visited was Freeport Grand Bahama. There's a little beach here, and you could take a scenic hike along the ocean to another small rocky beach area. That was certainly one of the highlights of the cruise. Try it out if you're feeling adventurous. Can't beat this nature hike along the ocean. There's also shopping, food, and drinks. Plus, free internet at the terminal. By the way, disembarkation at the port of Palm Beach was one of the worst we've ever experienced. It was just so slow. We had to wait for more than an hour and a half to get out of the terminal. So unless you're VIP, have global entry, you're in for a wait. They do offer an express pass for $53, which might save you some time. And interestingly, they were calling people with birth certificates to the front. That's a neat trick to know. So, what's our final verdict on whether we recommend the Margaritaville Paradise? For now, the answer is yes, if you can get one of those low $49 or $99 rates. Just be aware of the lack of things that are standard on other cruise lines, as we mentioned, plus the extra fees, especially like the fuel supplement, which is a real head scratcher. We do wish that instead of offering those dirt cheap rates, that they improve the standards to match mainstream lines but still offer a competitive price. Let the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville theme be more of a selling point instead. They especially need to improve the food at the buffet with a lot more quality plus selection, along with more tropical themed food. Plus, why not have some island themed pool deck parties at night? So we do feel that this cruise line has potential, and it's always great to have more competition. We thought the Paradise had character, pretty good food for the main dining dinners, along with enjoyable performances by the production cast at the theater. So that concludes our Margaritaville at Sea Paradise tour and review. What do you think? Would you consider cruising on this ship? And if you have, how was your experience? We look forward to your comments, and please do give the video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Be sure to check out our detailed coverage of food and the cabin tour from this cruise. See the links in the description. Thank you very much, happy cruising, and we'll see you soon in another video.